I think we need to make our creme brulees first, because they're going to take a little bit of time to cook and cool. It's been a while since I've made them, so it's going to be interesting. Okay, so I'm going to follow the recipe, just for reference, while we're making this, because otherwise I'm pretty sure I will stuff it up. Creme brulee, yeah, that's right. Creme brulee is really nice. We're going to make creme caramel, I think, today. Just because I do not have a blowtorch. But, I mean, it's essentially the same dish, except the sugar goes underneath in one and on top, and caramelized on the other. So, very, very good. So, we need our oven on 150 degrees. So that's 300 Fahrenheit. 300 Fahrenheit, 150 degrees Celsius. That's why this book is good, because it tells me that. So that's going to start preheating. Now we do need to get 6 eggs. So we get our roasting tin. Okay, so we're going to half fill this with water. That's our trusty roasting tins. And we've got these lovely old classic style ramekins. Does anyone remember this? These I think were made in the 1970s. They're really, really like classic 70s colours. Just that like brown and beige colouring was just so popular back then. So it's really interesting. They're going to go into our little trays here. So that's where we're going to bake them. So you do need the double boiler. Alright, so we're preheating the oven. So we're going to make a little bit of a caramel first.
Where did you get those clothes?
Oh no. I'm just going to change bow ties, chat. Okay, we are floral bow tie. Changing to floral. Hey Tisha, how you going? Welcome. We're making creme brulees. There's a free puppy just walked through. And I'm just changing bow ties because it has been requested. Okay, we are changed bow ties. Welcome Tisha, have a spritz. We're having a melon spritz, Midori. Delicious. Okay. So we're putting half a cup of the granulated sugar. So this is to make our caramel chat, right? Which is the bit that goes underneath them in the puddings and gives them that really nice caramel flavour at the bottom. 4 tablespoons. So we're going 4 tablespoons of water in with that sugar. This is what we're going to use to make our caramel. Now you've got to be really, really careful when you're making caramel, chat, that it does not burn. So if you're trying this one at home, please keep an eye on the temperature and how it's going, because the last thing you want is to absolutely destroy a pot in your kitchen, which will happen if you do not be careful with making caramel. So while that's heating up and while we're getting a little bit of dissolving sugar before we start making caramel, we're going to get on to the next step, which we've got to be a little bit careful with. So we need the milk and cream. I'm going to get a bigger pot, a nice big solid base one. Okay, so we just almost dissolved all that sugar now. Right, that sugar is almost dissolved now. So just got to keep an eye on that. You do not want it to burn. That's all we were talking about before. Okay. So in a big pot, we're going to put in our cream and milk. So we need 1 1/4 cups of milk and 1 1/4 cups of cream. All right, so you can see now, chat, if I go over to the prep pan, You can see here that sugar is pretty much all dissolved now. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn up the heat. And this is where we've got to pay real close attention. Otherwise we're going to burn it. So we're just reducing this caramel down, just making sure it's not sticking, it's not burning anywhere. Sorry I can't pay attention to as much chat, I just got to make sure I'm watching this damn thing. Just being really careful with that. Can't leave it alone too long. But we are going to do our cream. Get that ready. And a quarter. Somewhere here I've got some more cream. 1 1/4 cups of cream, which I'm just slightly short of out of one of these cups, one of these bottles. Who designed these things? I suppose it makes more sense. It's not often that you need 1 1/4 cups of something, but you usually need about a cup of something. So that gives you a little bit of excess if you're just doing a cup. Okay, so that is caramelizing really nicely. We just got to keep an eye on that and be very careful it doesn't overdo itself. Okay, while we're waiting for that, we're going to add 1 1/4 cups of milk. Okay. And the other thing I want you to think about, Chad, be really careful with caramel. If you spill this stuff on your your skin, it's like napalm. It's going to stick to it. It is extremely hot, much hotter than 100 degrees. It's worse than boiling water. So be very, very careful when you're making a caramel. Right, so pretty quickly that has now toffeed up. You can see where I draw, actually, I'll go back to the prep cam. So you can see here, chat, when I draw the spoon through it, it doesn't immediately flood back in the middle. That's about where you want it. Alright, nice and sticky. So, while that's hot, we're just going to pour a little bit of that into each of these dishes. Just enough to cover the bottom. Switching over. Alright, so we've got our cream and milk now on the heat. Heat the milk and cream together until almost boiling. Beating the eggs, caster sugar and vanilla together in a bowl. Okay, so in our bowl we need 6 eggs. So we're going to get 6 eggs, chat. Nice. Alright, 6 eggs. 6 eggs. I thought I had some eggs here somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Welcome to all those who are hanging out. If you would like to know what we are cooking today and making in the bar, you can of course type the commands that will tell you. It's written on the fridge, but I've discovered it's not very clear, so I might need to do some chalkboard paint or something on that. So anyway, 6 eggs. We're dropping the eggshells into our worm farm bin. Give those to the little worms, and that's how we get our garden growing nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. 5. And 6. So we have our 6 eggs there, chats. We're boiling our sugar out of that pan nicely. It'll dissolve off. Okay. And then we need to add 1/4 cup of caster sugar, and we're going to put that straight into the eggs. I'm going to whisk them together. I suppose this counts as an online cooking show as well, doesn't it? generous cup of sugar there. Pop that back in the cupboard. Okay, so that is now almost, it's just starting to steam a little bit. Vanilla. So I've got this really nice vanilla bean extract. You guys have seen that before. I use it. It's got actual vanilla bean in it, so I rate it. So about a tablespoon of that. Oh, you know what? It's almost done, chat. We'll use the whole bottle. Delicious. Recycle that. Okay. Get our big balloon whisk. This is the one you want. Nice whiskey. Break up those eggs. And we're just going to whisk this together just to make sure it's nice and combined and smooth. Just keep checking on that milk so it doesn't boil. So this is the part that we can quite easily stuff up, chat. Just going to turn this temperature off and remove that from the heat. So that's our milk and cream mixture. Just going to let that cool down just slightly. Go back to cooking can, because we don't want it too hot. Right, the last thing we want to do is to cook that egg so it's like the pieces separate. You've got to be really careful with this. So hopefully I don't stuff it up, but you want to whisk quite generously as you slowly add this in. Because you don't want to split it. But you can see we're adding only a tiny bit at a time. Just really slowly. Okay. A little bit of this back in the bowl. Just to get any of that last vanilla and sugar out of there. Okay. Fingers crossed this works, chat. So just making sure that's nice and mixed. We're just going to pour that into these molds on top of the caramel. Nice. Woo. That is a heavy pot. Yow. Nice. All right. So we have our, as you can see here, little puddings in the molds, in the water, in the double boiler. So, recipe says we need to bake for about 1.5 hours. So they're going in. Oh. Woo! Chat. Right. Hey YouTube, thanks for watching. You can watch me stream on Twitch, catch my videos right here, or check me out on Instagram. Hope to see you next time. Cheers.